Yep, that's right. Miami race weekend is over. That's right. All the fanfare, all the lead up and all that, it is done. And can you believe that old SK here made it all the way through without singing "Welcome to Miami"? All right, so maybe I just broke that streak. But anyway, we are now on to Barcelona. That's right. We're in Spain, and this is kind of where it all began, right? A little bit, some preseason testing. So this is going to be a great kind of just outlook to see what kind of progress have the teams made. And beyond that, there's a lot of upgrades coming this weekend. So we can really see where the teams are heading, how they're doing over, last weekend, but also just as a general first kind of leg of the season, where have they made it since they started till now? So with all that said, the lights are on. You already know. Away we go. All right, so I'm just going to start with the elephant, or should I say the bull in the room, the green bull. Yeah, that's right. It's got all the headlines and all that, the new Aston. Well, I'll have to say, for somebody who said that they might make it to fifth in the constructors, I'll take whatever I can get. They need to get some more points under them. Vettel's still performing. And there's some good blood in the team, so they just needed something. And if this is it, if this is another just pink Mercedes, so be it. I just want to see some good racing, and I really want to see Aston up there a little farther than they really are. So it'll be interesting. Again, it worked out for the pink Mercedes, but will the green bull really come about? I mean, we'll see if it really works or not. Upgrades aren't just a guaranteed change for a better performance. So it looks like, there's some good features, obviously the side pods and all that. Little bit with the, with the vents on top and so forth. So, we'll see what it does. But I had to just throw it out there, get the ball rolling. That's a big one. So now on to what I want to talk about, as we were just saying, the Bulls and the Ferraris. Now, Ferrari is bringing what seems like a lot more overall package of upgrades to their car than the Red Bull is. And, that's fine for the Red Bull, I suppose. You know what I mean? They got good pace. And I think it's more of a consideration and something that Ferrari needed to do. And hopefully it works out well for them. Of course, you got Carlos here in his home race, so he wants to show up, put on a good race, after a few fumbles and for his home race period. But as a team in general, obviously their car is fast. I put them as the best looking car, but that doesn't really mean much as far as where you're landing in the constructors. But obviously they're doing well. Charles is still in the lead, but we can really tell that bull, when it's not dying on the side of the track, it is just performing. It has so much pace. And so for them not to be bringing a whole bunch of upgrades isn't as concerning. But, for the Ferraris, I'm glad that they are, because they need to keep up that advantage. Charles needs to keep that gap and really widen that gap, because Verstappen is just closing it. 40 points, everybody said, oh, it's over. It's like the second, third race. Like, no, this is a long season, and you got Max Verstappen on your tail. I mean, come on. With a Red Bull that, again, when it's not dying, he's putting up first place. I mean, so we'll see how that pans out. I think it's going to be very interesting, very much so. Now, along with home races, we have Alonso and Alpine, and Alpine's actually bringing some pretty decent upgrades for Alonso, which I think the biggest one being the rear wing, which changes a little bit here and there with teams on different circuits, but apparently they're getting a lot lower downforce wing. I just really hope that it shows up for Alonso and it really makes some sort of difference, just a couple tenths. And I really more so just hope that he has a clean race. Not really, a little bit in Miami was his fault. But, overall for this whole season, he's just run into a lot of bad luck with a car that definitely deserves to have way more than 2 points to it. So I really am just, fingers crossed for Alonso. I really want to see him up at the top where he should have been kind of competing for that, kind of Russell spot, third, fourth, fifth, sixth kind of area a couple times. So for sure, I look forward to seeing what they really come out to the track with. And I'm sure Alonso is just like, come on, I need everything I can get. But yeah, good luck to Alonso in his home race. And as far as home race is concerned, I'll round this out with Haas. Now, Haas doesn't have a home race in in Spain, of course, but we just had their home race. And it was just unfortunate, especially for Mick. The whole time, I didn't want to say anything. I didn't even want to tweet it out. But or on IG, I should say, which you could follow me, F1P1 Life on Instagram. But he was just doing so well. The points just looked like they were coming. They were just right there. And yeah, just to come together with Vettel, and it kind of seems like it was more Mick's fault. And they got a good relationship, so I didn't really think anything of it. Immediately they're like, oh, does this strain everything? Are they really true friends if that happened? Probably not. You know what I mean? And Mick has a long career ahead of him. But, big up to Haas. They did definitely kind of show up with as much as they could with the package they had. And it was just great to see them in their home race. As far as this race for Spain, no upgrades planned. So that's pretty interesting in a kind of negative way. Like I was kind of hoping for something to see them here with and, kind of bring that performance back that they started the season off with. But it looks like they're going to have to wait a couple more races. And it just is what it is. With the cost cap and everything that's going on, you have to be strategic. So you can't just be like, oh, upgrades, and throw it all and just seeing what sticks against the wall because you're going to be done for. So I give it to him. I have faith in Haas. And Gunther, I'm sure he's doing, keeping charge of things. And they got a good, two good drivers. So we'll just see what happens in the long run. And all the best to them, for Spain. And quickly, I'll just run down. Looks like Romeo is bringing some upgrades, but only to Bottas. So, I'm sure he's probably feeling that, what do you call it? Not coach, but leadership role in the team. You know what I mean? But whether those upgrades mean a difference, the car has good pace. So hopefully it brings better pace to them. But we all always know that, there's a chance that it goes the opposite way. As we've seen with with Hamilton and some of his setup changes. Doesn't always go the way you really plan on it. So the Mercs, however, their upgrades for Miami were okay. They definitely showed up a little bit, I'll say. I see some people in the media just giving them a hard time still, but I feel like I didn't think they were just going to jump to P1, P2, but they definitely showed up and they were right behind the Raris and the Red Bulls. So yes, I said Raris, not Ferraris. Yeah, so hopefully this new floor that they're putting on the Mercedes is going to be that final little, not final little boost, but, push to get up to battling for constant podiums and reduce some of that, what do you call it? I was going to say headbanging, pretty much is, but the porpoising. And with that said, one of the largest upgrade packages I think that's coming is to McLaren. Now, McLaren, we saw at the beginning of preseason testing, were just kind of not really around, especially after the first, outing. And yeah, they were just, so the change has just been significant. And obviously, Miami was not their night, despite all the fanfare and stuff around McLaren in the United States and so forth. But it is what it is. Norris was on to do okay, and it's just one of those things. He just came into contact with. He came in with Gasly, right? AlphaTauri, and shame for them, but. They've made a lot of progress, so it's going to be very interesting to see from where they started to where they are now. I have no idea what this is going to do. I think I heard somewhere that they were talking about 0.5 difference in performance. So my real world, carry the one, E equals, all that kind of math, real world, probably is going to be 0.2 max race pace. I just feel that way because every time I hear, it's going to bring 0.7, it's barely 1.5. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of things that happen in sim, that happen in the air tunnel, it's just a different beast when you get it out on track and all that other stuff. So I really hope it brings 0.5 to them. I would love to see them battling right up towards the top, even though I think they're still over a second off. So I don't know if they'd be battling for first with Verstappen and Charles, but you know what I mean? To be battling for podiums week after week, I would love to see that. Like I said, never doubt on McLaren. So what do I think? What do I expect from this race? I don't know. I feel like it's going to be pretty decent. I don't know, but I feel like it's going to be kind of like 2021. You're going to show up, you're going to be like, it'll be okay or whatever. And then you're like, oh my God, this is the craziest race that we've seen ever. So I'm kind of hoping it falls that way, but I'm not quite sure if that's going to be the case. what am I going to do for predictions? Podium time? Yes, I am going to say Carlos Perez Verstappen is going to be it. And I'm going to say that Russell is going to break his top 5 streak because Hamilton will grab P5. And as far as the McLarens, I think I'm going to put, I'm going to McLaren fanboy it right now. They're both going to be above P8. So yes, let's just go right here. So what did I say? Carlos, Sergio, what do you call it? Verstappen. Then, oh, I said Hamilton was going to come P5. So who's going to be P4? Charles. All right, that's why. So Charles will be P4. P5 going to be Hamilton. P6 is going to be Russell. I'm going to say P7 Norris. P8 Daniel. And I don't know, round out the last 2. Vettel and Bottas. So there we go. There's my top 10 prediction right there. And yeah, that said, we got qualifying tomorrow, so I'm going to try to push out another video after qualifying happens and just give a rundown and see if any of my predictions have any chance of lasting for the Grand Prix on Sunday. This is F1P1 Life. I'm your host, Sean Kilburn. Hopefully you're enjoying this video, and if you are, hit that like button and be sure to hit that subscribe button down below as well. Helps me bring a lot more content like this to all of you out there. So with that said, see y'all next time.